Ready? Good evening. The Peoria City Council special meeting for October 3rd, 2017 will come to order. Will the clerk please read the roll?
Vice Mayor Edwards.
Here.
Councilmember Patena.
Here.
Councilmember Binsbacher.
Here.
Councilmember Finn.
Here.
Councilmember Hunt.
Here.
Councilmember Leone. Here. Council Liaison Acosta.
Here.
And Council Liaison Guitrost.
Here.
Thank you. There is just one item on the consent agenda to go to executive session. Is there a motion on the consent agenda?
So moved.
Can I have a second? We have a second, a first and a second. Will please vote. And it is unanimous. I'm going to executive session.
The Mayor and City Council welcome you to the Peoria City Council meeting. As a courtesy to others, please silence all phones. If you would like to address an issue that is on the agenda, or if you would like to speak to the Council regarding a non-agenda item, please complete a speaker request form, which can be found in the front lobby of the Peoria City Council chambers or in the tray to the left of the speaker's podium. Please place the completed speaker request form in the second tray to the left of the speaker's podium labeled Request to Speak. All speakers will have 3 minutes to complete their comments. A countdown clock is easily visible on the left side of the wall behind the City Council dais. Only items listed on the agenda may be addressed by the Council. Since items presented as part of a speaker's request have not been listed on the agenda, and due to the requirements of open meeting laws, the Council will be unable to respond to items presented as part of the speaker's request. However, please be aware that your comments will be noted. The speaker's name will be called to speak at the appropriate time, in the order that the forms were received. Thank you for your interest and participation in the Peoria City Council meeting.
#17 will come to order. If everyone will please rise for a moment of silence, reflection, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by Councilmember Finn.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will the clerk please take a roll call?
Vice Mayor Edwards.
Here.
Councilmember Patena.
Here.
Councilmember Binsbacher.
Here.
Councilmember Finn.
Here.
Councilmember Hunt.
Here.
Councilmember Leone.
Here.
Council Liaison Acosta.
Here.
And Council Liaison Gaytrost.
Here.
Thank you. Good evening and welcome to this Peoria City Council meeting. If anybody would like to address an issue on this agenda or would like to speak regarding a non-agenda item, please fill out a speaker request form and place it in the box at the podium so that the clerk can bring it to us. Okay, so the first agenda is for our city manager.
Great. Thank you, Vice Mayor. And September is National Library Month, and our Library Services Manager, Nathaniel Washburn, and Yvonne Owens, our Vice President of the Friends of Peoria Library Group, are with us tonight and pleased to announce the winners of our library card contest.
Vice Mayor, Council, thank you very much for this opportunity to present. September is National Library Card Month, so it's really exciting for us. We have several students that submit to have their library card designs looked at, and tonight we have two that have been selected. We have a grade school and a teen design that have won. And the exciting thing is that these cards will be issued to new members, new cards for the next year up until next September. So it is quite an honor and very exciting. So we are going to start with our grade school winner. And I would like to have Isabella Perry come on up. She did a wonderful design. If we can pull it up here. There it is. As you can see, reading is a hoot. Phenomenal design. Isabel is a sixth grader at Sierra Verde Elementary School. Her interests include student government. She loves to craft. And she gets to make the announcements at her school. So that's very, very cool. She's very excited about that. Her career goals is she would like to be a newscaster someday. So we wish her the best of luck in that. So if I can please invite the Vice Mayor up for a photograph. We're going to take a picture with her award that she receives this evening.
While we do that, Councilmember Hunt, if you want to join me.
This will be her award. Come on over here. We're also presenting Isabella with a $25 gift card to Justice. I believe that's what you requested. So that's also very exciting. Our second winner is the teen winner, and I'd like to invite Anna Gladbach up. She's an 11th grader at Liberty High School. You can see her design up there. I love this one, How to Change the World. You can see there in other different books, and we really love this design. Anna, her favorite books are Out of My Mind by Sharon Draper and all of the Harry Potter books. Is that correct? Excellent. Her interests include cross country. She's very involved with her church. She loves to play with her dogs and hang out with her friends, of course, right? So we're presenting her with this wonderful award. Congratulations. We're going to have you step on over here as well. And we're presenting Anna with a gift card to Michael's. So congratulations. Thank you very much. At this point, I'm going to turn the microphone over to Yvonne Owens. She's our vice president of the Friends of Peoria Library. They do a wonderful job in assisting us during the National Library Card Month. They have different story times. They give out different prizes to the kids who sign up for new library cards. So I'd like to invite Yvonne up just to say a few words about our wonderful Friends of the Library group that assist us in so many different ways.
Thank you. As part of the 30th anniversary of this event, the Friends of the Peoria Public Library partnered with the library staffs, with Kohl's Associates of Action Team, with Dairy Queen, at Lake Pleasant, and with HomeSmart Real Estate to sponsor the activities for events held in September. First, the Friends of the Peoria Public Library provided stuffed animals for kids 10 years and younger to get their very first library card. The libraries work to remind parents and youths that signing up for their first library card is the first steps in academic achievement and lifelong learning. Library cards at the Peoria, in the city of Peoria are free to all Maricopa residents beginning at birth. Second, Friends of the Peoria Public Library sponsored 2 special Mo Willems Storytime reading events with characters Gerald and Piggy. One was held at the main library, the second was held at Sunrise. I would like to take this moment to thank Mayor Kathy Carlett, although unfortunately she wasn't able to come today, and also Council Member Vicki Hunt as our very special guest readers. These 2 events reached a total of these 2 events reached a total of 261 total attendees, resulted in new library cards for the children, and we reminded our families to begin their literacy efforts early, to partner with the children's librarian for ideas, information, and to reinforce the library as a central community resource for free books, materials, programs for their families. Now, I am very excited to say that we had 933 people get new library cards in September. That is amazing. That's really great. The Friends are thankful for this opportunity to promote our local libraries. We strive to highlight the library's role in enriching the community by inspiring and educating people of all ages about the library and its resources and services. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk about the events friends and the national staff and sponsors helped to promote for National Library Card Month. As Snoopy says, what's cooler than being cool? Have a library card and get yours today. Thank you.
So in closing, I do want to thank Yvonne again for coming. And when she announced 933, I did see some people wanting to do this. So let's clap for 933. That's an amazing number, and we're very, very proud of that. I do want to again thank the mayor and Councilmember Hunt for coming out for our story times. They were a tremendous success, very exciting, as you could see on the pictures. It was a lot of fun, so thank you so much. We do appreciate you. I want to again thank the mayor, vice mayor, and the council for your continued support for our libraries. What we do for our community is tremendous, and we couldn't do it without you, so thank you again. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay, the next on the agenda is a proclamation recognizing October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So I'll be reading a proclamation. Thank you. So I'd like to have Detective Griffin, Stephanie Smith, Debbie Stewart, Latrice Evans, and Kaylee Sorensen, if you wouldn't mind coming up to be part of this proclamation. Come on down. Oh, we can do it up here. Hi, how are you? How are you? You're good. You're good. So I wanted to read this proclamation on behalf of the city of Peoria, and it's lengthy, but bear with me here. So it reads, we, the city of Peoria mayor and council members, are honored to join with the community at large in thanking advocacy groups, volunteers, law enforcement officials, and other individuals who have devoted their lives to end domestic violence in the city of Peoria and around the nation. Whereas domestic violence is an unspeakable offense against human dignity that shatters the lives and families and spawns lifelong feelings of hopelessness and despair. And whereas across the nation, an estimated 10 million or more cases of domestic violence occur each year and kills an average of more than 3 women each day. And whereas each October, the formal recognition of Domestic Violence Awareness Month allows the community to acknowledge and show their support for the victims of this horrible crime. And whereas through programs such as the Peoria Police Department's Victim Assistance Unit, the city's prosecutor's office Victim Assistance Units, Eve's Place, and other advocacy groups, we can work together to end the violence and protect all members of the society. And now, therefore, we join the residents of Peoria in bringing to light the viciousness and lifelong devastation caused by domestic violence, and in recognizing the committed and caring individuals who defend and support innocent victims. And in grateful recognition, therefore, I, Kathy Carlett, the mayor of the city of Peoria in the state of Arizona, do hereby declare October 2017 Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and its witness thereof. She set her hand to this on the second day of October 2017. So I'd like you to say a few words.
Thank you. We work really hard at the Peoria Police Department working with victims of domestic violence. That is our highest call volume as far as working with victims, and we are very diligent with making sure we reach out to them and provide them with the necessary resources that they need. We work as a team, and this is just a part of our team, and we're grateful to be able to have this recognized as National Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Peoria. Want to say anything? Okay.
That's your chance. Well, thank you so much for everything that you do. Okay, the first agenda item is the consent agenda. These are items that are listed as a C. They will be considered routine or have been previously addressed by the City Council. They will have been passed by one motion unless a council member or member of the council requests that an item be removed from the agenda. Are there any items that need to be removed from the agenda? Okay. May I have a motion on the agenda?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay. Please vote. And the consent agenda passes unanimously. Okay. The next item is the call to the public. Do we have any requests to speak? So we have no requests to speak. So the next agenda item is the reports from the city manager.
Great. Thank you, Vice Mayor. I did want to mention that in recognition of Domestic Violence Awareness Month, that the City Hall, as you'll notice as you leave outside, is lit in purple all throughout this week. And it's we're seeing it's a very inspiring, just knowing what this is about and the symbolic levels of this is very touching to see that brought out. So one other item, we wanted to discuss the Hurricane Harvey relief efforts that were put forward by Peoria Fire Medical Department. We had sent a team of 6 firefighters to Texas to support the relief efforts from the effects of the hurricane. And with that, we have Chief Bobby Reese as well as Deputy Chief Gary Bernard to discuss that deployment.
Good evening, Vice Mayor and Council. Pleased to be here tonight. Actually, we had 2 items, Mr. Tyne. And the first one, I don't see the clicker anywhere, the remote.
He's got it over there for us.
Okay.
Signal.
Click. So the Harvey relief system, let me just tee it up a little bit, is that we have a team that goes out to national forest fires, and they have a lot of training in how to run disasters out in the middle of nowhere, and large amount of resources, and that benefits Peoria greatly because it's still the same NIM system that we use here as we use out in the Forest Service, and so they get real life experience in dealing with very large incidents. What that has led to is that the Forestry Service has liked the way we run our events out in the Forest Service, and has led to them asking our folks to go out and become part of an incident management team in the disaster of Harvey. And so we send out a team that Chief Bernard will talk about. He was one of the members. But they went to a city between Texas and Louisiana along the coast, Bridge City, and they had been flooded out and whatnot. So they were asked to go there and become the incident management team, and thank you very much. Somebody stole it. So they were asked to run the EOC there at Bridge City, and so you have just about all the other towns and cities that go through a lot of NIMS training, and when the real thing happens, is nobody knows what to do. I mean, tabletop exercises are nice, but until you cut your teeth in real incidents and running a EOC, that's when you gain the experience of what to do when the event actually happens. So I'll turn it over to Chief Bernard to tell you his experiences in Harvey.
Thanks, Chief Reese. Mr. Tyne, Vice Mayor, City Council, thanks for the opportunity to share our experience. These are the 6 firefighters that responded to the Hurricane Harvey relief. All these folks were in leadership positions with the team, and we were asked by Arizona State Forestry Department to assist them. This is the team that responded. That's in our incident command post. at the school district office in Bridge City. Some of the members from the team, besides the Peoria folks, were Arizona Department of Forestry Fire Management, United States Forestry Service, Apache County Sheriff's Office, and the Central Arizona Fire Authority folks came also. Pruitt Small is the incident commander, and he is actually a Type 1 incident commander, so Type 3 is less, and he was very good for pulling a team together and had a lot of knowledge that kind of guided us through this whole thing. This is what we saw when we got there. Bridge City had 52 inches of water in a short period of time, which flooded a lot of the areas. So water damage was the main thing that they were concerned with. They sit on the Louisiana-Texas border, about 6.2 square miles, 8,000 people in population. So when we arrived, we met with the city officials, the mayor, the city manager, emergency coordinator, police chief, fire chief, and we identified the issues and concerns which are on the board right there. Through that, they developed objectives to mitigate those issues and concerns, and basically, like Chief said, served as their EOC. We assisted their emergency management with their EOC. These are the objectives that we came up with. Everything we did was to meet these objectives. In the picture, this is towards the end of our stay, pretty much the last day. That's the mayor of Bridge City and our incident commander, Pruitt Small, and he's being presented the key to the city right there. In the end, they took a photo, gave us a flag, and they were very happy with what we did to help. All services in the area were restored and operational by the time we left. Several thousand supplies were distributed to citizens of Bridge City, and we did provide the city with a long-term recovery plan document also, and that's pretty much what we did while we were out there. It's not working.
Great, and just a real quick comment. We were obviously very proud of our team for reaching out there and taking the steps in this and putting themselves out there, exposing themselves to these leadership positions. It puts a lot of pressure and strain on them, in addition to just having to deal with very, very tough situations and circumstances. So a great trial for all of them, and they just passed all of it admirably, so congratulations to them. One other item we wanted to mention was October is also nationally known as Fire Prevention Month, and so Chief Reese will also discuss some of the efforts that we are doing outreach to the community with regard to that.
This year, the NFPA has a theme of every second counts and plan 2 ways out of every room, essentially. What the experts say is that once your smoke detector goes off, is you got about 2 minutes to get out of your house. So you should plan 2 ways out of every single room and then practice that plan. And coupled with, it's a good month to check your smoke detectors, make sure they're working, and change the batteries, because once you start waiting and at 3 o'clock in the morning they start falsely going off because the battery ran out, is you start programming your family that it's just a false alarm. So we ask you to check your smoke detector and plan 2 ways out, and then have a meeting place somewhere for your family to go and call 911. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you. And the last item that I have is just our upcoming city events. We wanted to list that out on a video, so we'll air that for you and for the public. And as you can see, we have a number of events, some that are promoting an overall awareness, promoting, of course, literacy, working through a number of different other programs, having localized programs like the Park Fest, and of course our big spooky October Halloween Fest. So an exciting time here in October, and that's all I have, Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Jeff. Next, we'll have reports from the City Council, and we'll start with Youth Liaison Acosta.
All right, I don't know who made that video, but that was a very nice video. Thank you. I would like to say congratulations to Isabella and Anna. They had some outstanding designs for those new library cards. I'm looking forward to getting a new one myself. And thank you to the firemen that went to Texas and helped Texas come up with a recovery plan. We really appreciate you and what you do in our city, and we're very proud for you helping other cities, as well. Cassidy, Councilmember Cassidy, or Council Liaison Cassidy and I met with Marie Lopez Rogers this past Thursday on the 28th. Marie Lopez Rogers, for those of you that don't know of her, she's a longtime leader who served 3 times as mayor of Avondale, and she's served 1 term as county supervisor and was the 2013 National League of Cities president. Our meeting with her was basically just to get guidance on how to lead other leaders and come together to create a plan and just get our ideas as one and, come up with something that we can all agree on. That's something that we'll be taking to our board to help when we come up with ideas and stuff like that. And with that, that's all that I have.
Thank you. Councilmember Patina.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. On Tuesday, September 26th, I attended ribbon cutting at TYR Tactical, which is located at 91st and Olive. This is a long time. They've been in Peoria a long time, 13 or 14 years, but they have been so successful they actually had to move to a bigger headquarters. TYR Tactical is an avid supporter of our law enforcement and military and supplier of body armor systems, which include tactical vests, plate carriers, and concealable vests, in addition to pouches, backpacks, technical clothing, and canine protective equipment. They have approximately 300 employees. We toured the building. They have, 250 or 300 sewing machines, and it's quite an interesting place and quite amazing things that they do. This afternoon, I attended the retirement party for Susan DeLuden. Susan spent 9 years as our deputy city manager, and I just wanted to wish her the best in her retirement. And last, congratulations to Isabella and Anna for the design winners of our library cards. That's all I have, Vice Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Bensbacher.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I too want to congratulate our library card design winners. It's always wonderful. First of all, I love their designs, but it's wonderful when we can take creations of our kids and put it into play in some way, and this is just a wonderful way to do that. On the 23rd of September, I attended a End the Stigma event, which was an event to raise awareness on substance abuse and addiction. And it was a partnership with the City of Peoria and Crossroads, and led by Natalie Carlett, who had a real passion for this. And it turned out to be an unbelievably successful event. And her lineup of speakers were incredibly effective. It was so informative and just a great beginning to getting that topic out there. It's such a problem throughout our country, really, and we're not talking about it enough. So I look forward to working in a partnership like that and continuing to have more events like that to raise awareness and get that conversation out there to help families, particularly parents dealing with teens that are struggling with that. It was a Saturday well spent, and definitely worth having more of those in our city to help any citizens that we might have dealing with that. On the 30th of September, I went to Somos Peoria, which was the first time for that particular event. And I just went to the very beginning to see it kick off, and it looked like it was really going well, and people were streaming in, and I think it turned out to be a very successful event, and I think the beginning of a great cultural event for Peoria, and I'm sure Councilmember Hunt will tell you a little bit more about that, as I think you were there all through the evening, right? And then later on that evening, I had the honor, my husband and I were able to attend the Schechterle Ball that is put on by the 100 Club. And what a thrill that was to see and be part of the award recipients for that evening. For the first time in 100 Club history, the Firefighter of the Year, Stephen Gunn, and Police Officer of the Year, Brandon Sheffert, were named, Firefighter of the Year, Police Officer of the Year, and that's never happened before, and both from the same city, and it was unbelievable. But the common message that was so moving in their presentations and their acceptance speeches, they were so incredibly humble and talked about how any one of the guys on my crew would have done that. I just happened to be the first one off the truck. And Officer Sheffert said any officer might have done that had they been in that same situation. And I would like to believe that's true, but gosh, you looked at these two gentlemen up there receiving these awards, and it seems to run so much deeper than what they were sworn to do. And they just did a fantastic job of representing Peoria, receiving those awards. It was a big night, and I was so proud of our public safety and what they're doing, and just thrilled that I could be sitting at that table and be part of that. It was a big, big night for Peoria. Also want to congratulate Peoria Fire and Medical for your successful efforts in the Hurricane Harvey relief efforts. That is fantastic. And I think that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Finn.
Thank you. I'm just going to kind of follow up on what Councilmember Bensbacher said and keep it focused on our public safety. I say repeatedly, the heroes out there are the ones that are going in while everyone else is going out. And we send our team into hurricane relief. They're going in to help people while everybody else is doing everything they possibly can to get out. And in light of the absolutely horrific event that happened over the weekend, if you have an opportunity to see any of that video where police officers are actually going towards automatic gunfire while 22,000 people are running the other way, I thank God that we have our safety team out there every day. Firefighters, police officers, the ones that aren't afraid to run in when they're running out. And my niece was actually at that concert that night. She got out okay. Her and her boyfriend both got out okay. But to think about people actually running towards automatic gunfire with probably a 9mm in their hand, a handgun, and it's 32 floors up, to me is amazing and hasn't happened here. But I have the absolute utmost faith that if it did, we would be in the best hands possible with our public safety. So I'm going to leave my night at that. Thanks.
Thank you. Councilmember Hunt.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Well, a lot has happened the last 2 weeks. I won't linger on much of it, but again, congratulations to the library. You guys have come so far in so many ways. Friends of the Library, we can never underestimate your value to this organization. You raise thousands of dollars, but mostly you give hundreds and hundreds of hours of service to the people of this community. And the facelift that the library got is wonderful. New carpet, new seating in the front section. So, and kudos to the two young women who won the card art award. Last Friday, I attended a ceremony that's become very special to me, the JAG program at Peoria High School. Jobs for Arizona Graduates is just an amazing program that helps kids kind of find their way through their junior and senior year in high school and start focusing on the class is 2 hours long, and they have to be selected for it. They have an amazing teacher, two actually amazing teachers, and they focus on character strengths and setting goals and having a vision and exploring literally what they want to be when they finish growing up, and knowing that their work life is going to be the rest of their life, and so trying to get them focused into a career path that will really help them, but mostly to help them be really great human beings. And there were about 50 kids there that were inducted into the class this year, along with their new officers. And so really congratulations to all of the people that work with those kids, and good luck to those kids. And I work with them all year, so I know I'll be seeing them some more. It was my privilege, back to the library, I don't have these in order, to introduce Piggy and Gerald to the younger set. As most of you that know me know, I taught high school, and I don't really get those little tiny ones, but I offered to read the Scarlet Letter, but the librarians didn't think that would be appropriate for 4-year-olds. So I read Can I Play 2, which featured a pig named Piggy and an elephant named Gerald. And the kids liked it, and I liked it a lot myself. Somos Peoria. I'm so sorry you had to leave early because, according to Mr. Sefton, the counts are not completely in, but we're over 11,000 in attendance that night. Last year, I think we hit 12,000, right? Different location. This is so exciting to me on so many levels because there was not, to my knowledge, one altercation, one kerfuffle, one food truck accident, nothing untoward went on. We did have a lot of Peoria police officers, some firefighters around, just really, I think, enjoying the music. We had 2 stellar bands, Los Lonely Boys and Los Lobos, who are both national headliners, and how fortunate we were to get them. I want to throw out kudos not only to Mr. Sefton's staff, but to Ralph Arvizu, who is the events organizer that we've come to use for that event. It made me feel good to know that 11,000 plus people fit very nicely in Old Town Peoria. In the Stigma was a really good event, and again, I would just encourage, if you have someone, yourself or someone you love, who's fallen into the trap of substance abuse, it's not something to be ashamed of. Get help, because it's not going to get any better if you don't seek help or make your child get help. And that's what that morning was all about. I attended the Arizona Forward Awards, and this was not our year to shine in terms of awards. If you all recall, we brought home 5 Crescordia Awards last year and 2 honorable mentions, which they were calling it the Peoria Awards that night. This year, we decided to let some other people shine and have it be their time, and so we graciously backed up. But boy, wait till next year when some of our projects come to fruition and we hit that stage again. But what I did gain from it was a lot of ideas for us. So it was really exciting, because when you see other cities and what they've done, and then you can envision something similar, but certainly something possible in your city, that's really exciting. And then again, I'll mention we did have a really nice little reception this afternoon for Susan Daluden, who is much loved by anyone who knows her. We had her for 9 years, and I will say that I really wish her luck in her retirement. I think I know her. We all do well enough to know she's not going to stay all that retired. She'll do like most of us and take a couple months off, and then she'll be back helping in some way. The one thing I can say about Susan is that she left Peoria in better shape than she found it, and it was already in good shape when she came, but she brightened every corner that she touched, and we appreciate her so much. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Councilmember Leone?
Yes, on September, we're going to do this fast so we can get home to see that Dancing of the Stars. No, I was going to try to get in that, but at 82, I don't think I'd make it. On September the 26th, I attended ribbon cutting. It's a brand-new building. It was in Peoria before, and now they moved it into my district on 91st Avenue and Olive. And this is where they make bulletproof vests. As you can see what's going on in Las Vegas, I think everybody's going to start wearing bulletproof vests, and it's a shame what happened. So, to my understanding also, right now they got about 150 people employed, but they're going to go up to 350. So I think it's important if you're looking for a job, if you know how to sew, or if you don't, they will teach you. So go down and put an application in. Also, don't forget the Shred-a-thon at Sun Valley School, October 14th, from 8 15 to 10 o'clock. And get rid of all those nasty letters and all those bills that you don't need, and you don't want anybody to get a hold of them. So the best thing to do, it's all free. Just come on down, and we have people there that's going to be helping you to shred them. The thing that I did want to mention, that I don't know if it's happened to you or not, but it happened to me last week when the phone rang and some kid gets on the phone and says, Grandpa, I'm in jail. I says, where in jail? He says, New Jersey. What happened? He says, I got in a car accident. I says, it don't sound like you're my grandson. What's your name? He didn't tell me. But I mentioned Jeffrey. He says, I'm Jeffrey. So that's the first mistake I made by mentioning my grandson's name. So the thing is that you got to watch out for this kid. He says, he needs money to get out of jail. And I didn't ask him how much. Before I had a chance to ask him, I decided to hang up on him. But if anybody gets a call like that, the best thing to do is to ask him a few questions. What's your mother's name? Where do you live? Because everything I asked him, he didn't know. He kept on saying, he's my oldest grandson. And all evidently, he didn't know. I got 6 grandsons, so which one is he? But anyway, if you have any little kids, tell them the same thing, to watch out what they say. I think it's important that we don't give anything away where they can get money out of you. And that's all they're trying to do, is get money. God bless each and every one of you, and God bless America. Thank you.
Thank you. Youth Liaison Getros.
Thank you. On September 29th, as Maylee said, her and I met with Marie Lopez Rogers. We talked about leadership. Yesterday, we also attended a focus group together by Westmark. It was held at West Mech. We talked about the skills teens struggle with in order to get a job. It was very informative, and we gave our ideas on how we think we can improve teens getting a job, because it's really hard for us now because we're all lacking the skills or the opportunities to actually go out and get a job. This week is Raymond S. Kellis's Spirit Week and Homecoming Week. I would like to thank my principal, Mr. Wooten, and the faculty, along with the students who helped prepare for this amazing week. I would also like to thank the Tohono O'odham Nation for being here. Last year, they had made a donation for my high school. When I was a freshman, they donated laptops for all the freshmen, and it's still being used to this day. I would also like to say congratulations to the library and everybody else who got an award tonight. Not to end on a sad note, but I would lastly like to send my condolences to the families who lost their loved ones out in Las Vegas, Nevada, which was considered as one of the most deadliest attacks out in America. So, thank you.
Thank you. There being no further business, we are adjourned.